Welcome to In My Bag with Backpack Jeff, where we connect with ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And today I got a very special guest here with me. That's right, yours truly, Backpack Jeff. Today we are in our bag with me, Backpack Jeff. And y'all know how this podcast goes, man. We always giving out free games. So this time I'm giving you out some free game. All right. So 5 things that I believe all entrepreneurs need, man. We're going to get straight to it. We're not going to waste no time. 5 things that I believe all entrepreneurs need in order to make any endeavor successful, or whatever it is that you're doing, to make whatever it is that you're trying to do successful. These are 5 things that you are going to absolutely need in order to make those things abundantly successful. Okay. T.E.R.M.K. All right. I want y'all to get that. All right. It's called T.E.R.M.K. Now, this is an acronym. All right. And I'm going to tell you exactly what each letter means. I'm going to dive deep into each letter. Okay. T.E.R.M.K. stands for time, experience, resources, money, knowledge. Okay. Again, that's time, experience, resources, money, knowledge. All right. So first thing we're going to start with is time, man. Time is so important. Time is on our side right now. If you are breathing, if you are alive, then you certainly have time on your side. And it is important to make sure that you don't waste that time. Okay. One of the things that I hear a lot of people say is that there simply isn't enough time in a day. There simply isn't enough time in a week. Okay. I want to do a quick calculation for you guys. All right. And I want y'all to do this calculation with me. Or if you have some time, I do have a worksheet that you can use that will allow you to maximize your time so that you can maximize your potential, what it is that you're doing. All right. There are 168 hours in a week. OK, now let's go 168. Now, let's say if you subtract 56 hours out of that 168. Okay. That means you are sleeping 8 hours a day. All right. So we're going to subtract 56 from that 168. That's giving you 112. Okay. Now let's say you are working 40 hours per week. Okay. So that's 112 minus 40 hours. All right. So now we're down to 72 hours. Let's say travel to and from work takes you 30 minutes to get to work, 30 minutes to get back from work. Okay. So that's going to be 7 hours. That's going to be 1 hour per day, right? And that's going to be 7 hours. So 72 minus 7. Okay, so now we are left with 65 hours. All right. So now over the course of a week, you have a lot of things that you got to do, right? You got to go grocery shopping. You got to cook for yourself. You got to make sure that you are. If you don't have kids, I'm going to encourage you guys to do this if you do have kids. Okay. Or if you don't have kids, I'm going to encourage you to still do this. All right. So we're down to 65 hours. OK, so 65 hours looks like, let's say if we spent another 40 hours on miscellaneous activities, right? Miscellaneous activities will be everything that I just talked about. OK, that's going to be cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping. That's going to be getting all of your random tasks done. So that's 60. So you're spending another 40 hours doing that a week. Now that takes you down to still 25 hours per week that you have available. Okay. And if you really want to get deep into this, I suggest you get deep into it. But we don't have time to go into it. Maybe I'll do a workshop or something like that. But that's still leaving you with 25 hours per week that you could be working on manifesting whatever it is that you are trying to manifest. In my case, that's motivational speaking. In my case, that's doing a podcast. In my case, that's building multiple streams of income. Okay, 25 hours a week or 100 hours a month. Think about that. 100 hours a month over the course of 12 months. That's 1,200 hours. Okay, that's 1,200 hours of time that you can actually put towards doing what it is that you want to do, right? So with time, we have to learn how to maximize our time, because right now we have it, but time is something that doesn't slow down for anyone. It's not going to wait for anyone. A lot of people, they sleep and they sleep way more than what they should be. Listen, y'all know my motto because I have it on my shirts, right? Work hard, play hard. No, we scratched out to play. We are work hard, work harder. Okay. And the reason why why I encourage people to develop that mindset is because we're in a season of grind, of entrepreneurship, and of branding right now. Okay. You have to get to a point where you say, all right, I want success as much way more than I want to sleep. And the thing about it is that when you go through that season of work hard, work harder, eventually you will be able to play hard. But some people are trying to work hard, play harder, and that's the problem with a lot of entrepreneurs, with a lot of people. And the reason why they're making a lot of money, but they're not seeing that money go they're not seeing that money multiply. They're not seeing that money drag out over an extended period of time. All right, we have to be very decisive on what we spend our time doing. All right, Eric Thomas has this he has this this saying that he said in one of his speeches, right? And man, it really brought me to it really hit for me, and it really clicked for me. I want to give y'all exactly what he said. He said, the spirit is saying, I want your happiness more than you want it. I want your happiness more than you want it, because I gave you 24 hours and you playing video games with it. I gave you 24 hours and you like in a intramural league like it's D1. Right? Dudes is out here in intramural leagues like it's Division 1. Dudes is out here in these leagues like somebody like, dude, you're not getting picked up by anybody who's going to pay you for playing basketball. Now, listen, I love the competition of basketball, but if I'm spending an hour playing basketball, if let's say it takes me 30 minutes to get to a place, I spend an hour playing basketball, and then it takes me 30 minutes to get back from a place, right? That's 2 hours that I don't have. And if I'm doing, some people are in 2 or 3 leagues at this point. Right? If you're 30 and above and you're in 2 or 3 basketball leagues, I'm going to tell you right now that you are wasting your time. Okay. No one's going to pick you up in any overseas opportunity or any G League or NBA opportunity. You need to get out of that league and you need to get on your grind. If you are over 30 years old and you have not gotten and put in your place in a financial state where you can afford the opportunity to continue to play basketball, then you need to get out of that. You need to get out of all of them leagues. Okay. I'm not going to tell you to get out of all of them, because maybe basketball is something that you find refuge in, that is like mentally stimulating for you. And we need that mental stimulation. I get it. I understand it. But if you are in 2 to 3 leagues and you are not in a financial place where you can be into 2 or 3 leagues where you are still making money even while you're out there playing basketball, then you need to get out of those leagues, man. Okay. It's not doing anything. You are wasting so much time that you could be putting towards actually making yourself better and building something significant for yourself. And then once you've built something significant for yourself, what you can do is then you can go back to the leagues and you can start playing in those leagues. Why? Because you've built something successful that you can make money off of, and that while you're here, it's already making money for you. All right. We have to maximize our time. Time is of the essence. Time is something that we can never get back. Okay. Fab got in one of these songs, man, he said the money it come and go, but the time you can't get it back. All right. So be careful how you spend your time and where you spend your time. It is very valuable. We need to learn how to value our time so much more. Okay. The next thing. All right. Experience. This one is huge. I've been having this conversation a lot over the past 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. Experience. How do you get experience? Where do you get experience from? All right. Whatever it is that you want to do. Let's say you want to be a photographer. Let's say you want to be a videographer. Let's say you want to be a poet. You want to be a motivational speaker. You want to be a business owner. You want to be a brand manager. You want to be whatever it is that you want to be. Okay. You need to gain experience from it. You ever realize why in college, your senior year, what do they make you do? They make you go and get an internship. Why? Because you got to get some experience before you go out into the workforce world. They want to make sure that you are getting experience. If you are not getting experience, then you are essentially wasting your time, because you're going to go out into the workforce and not be developed and not have any experience. Okay. How do you get experience? This is key. I need y'all to listen to me on this. I need y'all to hear me on this. Okay. Experience. You have to give what you are doing away for free. Okay. You got to give what you are doing away for free for a significant amount of time. I challenge you to go talk to anyone who has built anything significant or even insignificant. I guarantee you they will tell you that you have to give something away. You have to give it away for free before people will pay for it. When I first started in poetry, I'm going to say this. When I first started in motivational speaking, I gave everything away for free. Y'all, I was teaching GED class, teaching success principles, six keys to success in GED classes for a year and a half before for free. Okay. 6 weeks. I was doing a 6-week course. All right. So 1.5 hours a week, every week for 6 weeks. I believe it was every Wednesday. And I gave it away for a year and a half. And what I got from that was I got experience. I got over my nerves of being in front of a camera. I got over my nerves of being in front of people and speaking. I got over my nerves of what I thought my voice sounded like. I hated my voice. And I know a lot of you all, you hate your voice as well. Listen, I hated my voice, and it's so crazy, right? I hated my voice. And I said to myself, this is why I'm not successful, because I don't have a successful person's voice. Like, nobody wants to listen to my voice. And what's even more crazy is that I loved my younger brother's voice. But the thing is, him and I sound exactly the freaking same. So how is it that I loved my brother's voice, but I didn't love my own voice? It's only because there's fear associated with it. Okay. You need to, and the experience that you're going to gain from giving stuff away for free is you're going to start to break down those barriers of fear. You're going to start to break down those walls of the things that were holding you back, that kept you or that are keeping you from accomplishing whatever it is that you want. Okay. If you are trying to gain experience, you need to give it away for free. And the reason being is because what happened as I gave those GED courses away for free, what happened was it changed my life, because I met this girl there, and I was doing so good, right? And I'm brand new. I had no idea what I was doing. I was out on a whim. I promise you, I had no idea what I was doing. But I'm out on a whim. This lady is there. She's like, listen, I want to bring my brother to the last class because I know he just got out of jail, I believe. And she was like, yo, he needs to be in here. So she brings her brother to the class. Okay. I meet her brother the last day of class. Now her brother says, hey, listen, I got this girl. Do you know this girl, Shantla? No, I don't know her. You need to meet her, man. I meet Shantla, and literally we sit down. We meet at Panera Bread, her and I, we meet at Panera Bread, and literally when we sit down, Shantla and I, we automatically connect. I promise you, it was like we had known each other for 5 years, and we were just kind of rekindling. We were catching back up, and him and I, he wasn't even in the conversation anymore. After her and I met, it was all about her and I. We just started talking, and a week later, she invited me to this event where she was celebrating a friend who was receiving a reward from the Be Me community. Okay. And he accepted his reward. He accepted his award. I got an opportunity to meet with him. I got an opportunity to work with him. In fact, at that time, he was an Emmy Award winning producer. At this current time, he's a 2-time Emmy Award winning producer. In fact, I just sent him an email yesterday, and he's going to be on my podcast. I've had an opportunity to record with him. I've had an opportunity to work with him, and he has some big name people on his roster. Like Wiz Khalifa is one of his biggest clients. Malik Yoba, he's worked with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The gentleman from the Pittsburgh Steelers who had that severe neck injury, I can't remember his name, forgive me about that, but the gentleman with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jerome Bettis. Anything Amazon, he's shot in commercials for Amazon. Anything that you can think of. He travels all over the world. He does the Roots picnic every single year. Anything that you can think of in regards to film, videography, photography, this guy has his hands on. Okay. Again, like I said, now 2-time Emmy Award winning producer. And the only reason I was able to meet him was because I was giving those GED classes away for free. We have to we have to get to the point where we want to grow more than we are thinking about the money. Okay. We got to get to a point where we want to grow more than we are thinking about the money. I think of it this way. The money that people pay you are like dollars. Okay? The money that people pay you are dollars. The experience that you get is the change. If you add up enough change, eventually it will add to dollars. Okay? We get to a point where we want the money, and I understand wanting the money. But we also have to make sure that we are doing what's necessary when we are not on, let's say, a level 10. If we are still on level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we still got to start giving some stuff away for free. Listen, even being in this thing for 5 years now, just now 5 years, I'm still giving away stuff for free. This podcast is free. I'm still doing some free events. I'm still going to churches and doing things for free. I'm still going to, I'm working with the Hasbro and Special Olympics. I'm giving it away for free. Why? Because there's opportunity in that. Okay, I have a saying and it says, there's always more opportunities within every opportunity. You just have to find the opportunities within the opportunity. You hear me? I'm going to say it for you again. There's always more opportunities within every opportunity. You just have to find the opportunities within every opportunity. Okay. Recently, I had an experience. I was working with someone and I was asking them to do something for free for me. And they decided in the beginning, everything was great. Everything was great in the beginning. But about a month in, they decided they wanted to get paid for it. And I said, I understand that. But my thought wasn't, I don't want to pay you for it, because I definitely want to pay you for it. I want to pay you for your time. I want to pay you for your efforts. I want to pay you for it. But you're thinking about getting paid off of the wrong person. It's not me that you're going to make the money off of. It's going to be the people that are associated with me that you're going to make the money off of. I'm, again, just doing this 4 months now. Today's April the 1st, 4 months. Been doing this 4 months now. I'm already getting paid. I have a contract that's going out today that's I'm getting paid every single month to record a podcast for someone, four podcast episodes a month, and to do the social media presence. I only got that from experience, y'all, from giving this away for free. I only got this from gaining experience in what it is that I want to do. And the way that you gain experience is you give it away for free. The way that you gain experience is you connect and you network and you market to more people. That's the best way to gain experience. It's to give it away. I gave everything away. I practiced it day in and day out. I learned, I studied, I watched other podcasts. I watched other people do all of the things that I wanted to do. And I gained experience. I gained significant amounts of experience. And the only way to do that is to do it for free. And then what happens when you start doing stuff for free? People will start to say, no, you know what? You don't need to do that for free no more. I'm going to pay you for it. I'm going to pay you for it. And then you'll be surprised what people want to pay you after you've gained experience, because here's what the experience also allows you to do. It also allows you to get video. You need video proof of the things that you said that you were doing. If you don't have any video proof, no one's going to believe it. If you don't have any pictures, no one's going to believe it. And how do you get pictures? How do you get videos? Well, you got to go out and you actually got to speak. So if you're going into a school and you're saying, hey, listen, I want to come in here and come to your school, and they say, well, what's your charge? And you say $500. Well, show me some proof of what you've done. You don't have any proof. Why would I pay you $500 to do something for an hour that you don't have any proof that you've ever done it before? So you got to get on your internship grind. Now, on my resume, I can say I taught a GED class for a year and a half. I taught my 6 keys of success and a GED class for a year and a half, absolutely free. Now on my resume, I can say I've worked with a 2-time Emmy Award winning producer. Now on my resume, I can say I've done work associated with Hebrew Brontley. And if you don't know who Hebrew Brontley is, Google it. Google Hebrew Brontley or type it in Instagram. You'll find out who he is. I've done work for that guy. And I only got that from giving away my services for free. I was only able to overcome my fear by giving away my services for free. Those are the only ways that I was able to do it. So to recap, the first thing is time. The second thing is experience. The third thing is resources. Now, resources is a double-edged sword. Okay, you're going to need resources in a couple of different ways. You're going to need resources in the terms of things. You need resources. If you're trying to start a podcast, you need resources. You need a microphone. You need a camera. You need editing equipment. You need editing software. You need to make sure that you have these things in place. Okay. And how do you get those things? You got to pay for it. You got to be willing to pay for it. If you're not willing to invest in whatever it is that you're doing right now, it's not going to work for you. You got to be willing to invest. And when I say invest, I mean actually invest. I told you all a while back in another podcast episode that I was already $2,000 into this thing. I'm already $2,000 invested into this podcast and to my brand. And I was only 2 months in at that time. I'm heavily invested in this. And the thing about it is when you put your investment in what it is that when you have some sweat equity, when you got some stake in the game, you are going to take this thing way more serious. You're going to take this thing way more serious. I'm here. I'm not here because I want to be. I would love to have you all have someone else. I love connecting with ordinary people doing extraordinary things, but I didn't have that opportunity this time. So guess what? You guys are going to get me. You guys are going to get Backpack Jeff, and you're still going to get the same amazing content. You're still going to get the same great gems that we give you guys every single episode. But sometimes you got to rely on your own resources. The biggest resource that you have is yourself. But you're going to need things. If I didn't have this camera, if I didn't have this stand, if I didn't have this microphone, if I didn't have the MacBook, if I didn't have the podcast studio, if I didn't have all of those things, how would I ever get it done? Resources. You're going to need things. If I didn't have lighting, how would I get it done? I wouldn't be able to get it done. If I didn't have my cell phone, if I didn't have YouTube, if I wasn't going out and pulling all of this information from all of these different places, right? Resources, pull information from outside sources and document them and add and implement them into what it is that you want to accomplish, and you will be extremely successful. Okay. The next resource that you're going to need, the other side of the resources that you're going to need people. You need to go out and you need to make friends with people. You need to get more resources in terms of you need to network. You need to learn people and who can help you. Identify 10 people that can help you accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish. Those are going to be your resources. Those are people that you need in your network. I'm seeing my business grow because of people that I've met off of TikTok. I met some people on TikTok. They follow me on Instagram. They like what I'm doing. They see that I'm actually putting out great content. They see that I stand by what I say. And now they want to now they want to invest in me. They say, hey, look, who's a teacher on here? Who's a teacher? Well, I'm a teacher. Okay. How do I get to come into your school? Oh, I'll come into your school for free. I'll come into your school for free. But I don't tell them that right away because I'm 5 years into this thing right now. But if I need to, I need more experience. I need more experience in motivational speaking. I need more experience in doing those things. But I'm only able to gain that experience because of the resources that I have, because I'm using TikTok. All of these things matter. All of these things play a significant role in accomplishing whatever it is that we want to accomplish. And the only way that we can do that is if we gain the resources necessary in order to accomplish them. And the biggest resource that you are going to have is going to be your circle. The people that you know, the people that you associate yourself with on a regular basis, the people that you talk to on a regular basis. You have to tap in to those resources as often as possible. And one of the main reasons why people aren't able to gain experience or get paid for what it is that they are doing is because they refuse to ask. Y'all, we got to get out of this mind state of I'm too proud to ask for help. You know what I learned a long time ago on this journey is that it's very easy for us to give something away, right? We would give our last in a heartbeat, but we wouldn't take someone's last at all. Why? Because we got too much pride. We say, nah, I don't need no help. Nah, I don't want, I don't need, I don't want to take that from someone. Man, I listened to this motivational speech. Back when I was just listening to speakers all the time, I was engraving this stuff in my mind. I listened to this speaker, and he was saying, this guy, he took me out to lunch, and he asked me if he could pay for it. And I didn't tell him that I wasn't going to let him pay for it. I was just going to pay for it myself. And when the bill came, I reached my hand out, and he slapped my hand down. And he said, are you really going to rob me of the blessing that I would receive paying for your lunch by trying to pay for it yourself? And when I heard that, I said, oh my gosh, I need to be better at learning to receive, because I was one of those people. I never wanted to feel like I owed someone something. And that's what it is. That's what it is for a lot of us. We feel like we don't want to owe someone anything. Man, I've gotten to the point right now, if someone wants to offer me something, I'm saying absolutely. I'm saying absolutely. Because if they didn't have it, they wouldn't offer it. If it wasn't in their heart to give, they wouldn't offer it. There's a blessing that someone else is going to receive because of you saying yes to the thing that they are trying to give you. More blessed is the giver than the receiver. And that's the mind state. That's the mind state that we have only when we're giving, not when we're receiving. Allow someone else. Don't be selfish with the blessings. Allow someone else to get that blessing. Listen, man, if somebody wants to give me something, man, I will not rob you of the blessing that you are going to get by giving me whatever it is that you're trying to give me right now. Absolutely, I will take it. You got to be a good receiver, and you got to be a good giver. A lot of us are good givers, but we suck at receiving. We don't want no help. We want to feel like we did it all on our own. Nothing significant done in this world was done on someone by themselves. You can't name me one thing in this world that was created of significance that was done by themselves. Somebody did it by themselves. You can't name it. Resources, guys. Resources, the people that are around you, the people that you are associated with, the things that you look at every single day. YouTube should be a resource for you. Google should be a resource for you. There's YouTube University and Google University. YouTube can teach you how to do anything. I learned how to change my rotors and my brakes off of YouTube. Resources. What is it that you're trying to figure out? Where do you get the information from? Reading, resources. You see the library behind me. Resources. These are all resources. These are all tools that I've used over the course of the past 5 years to help me gain the knowledge that I have today and the experience that I have today in order to make my entrepreneurial journey more fruitful and more abundant. I've gained the resources. I've met people that I would have never met. I met Chrisette Michelle, Music Soul Child. I would have never met them. Just the other day, I met Shaq. I would have never met them if not for my resources. If not for me having the jobs that I have, and then those jobs being able to pay for me to go to Miami, and then those jobs being able to pay for me to be in that space that I was in when I met Shaq. Resources, guys. The people that you know, the people that you associate with, and then you're going to need things. What are some of the resources that you need in order to make whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish successful? Number 4, money. Okay, we're going to recap. Time, we talked about it. Experience, we talked about it. Give it away for free. Resources, okay? Things and people, okay? Things are resources that you need, and the people are resources. Things and people. Okay. The M is for money. You got to have money to do this. You got to have some capital to do this. A little bit, right? You got to have a little bit of money to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. You got to have a little bit of startup money, a little bit of investment money. How do you get that? Number one, you got to lose your pride. The only way to gain that money is to lose your pride. And what I mean by that, when I say lose your pride, I mean, don't be afraid to go and get a job at Domino's. Don't be afraid to go start driving Uber and Lyft. Don't be afraid to go start driving DoorDash. Don't be afraid to pick up that second job at the mall. Don't be afraid to pick up that second that side hustle at a call center. Don't be afraid to pick up some opportunities somewhere where listen. You're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate it because it's not what you want to do. It's not the thing that you love. You're gonna absolutely hate it. But the money is what fuels your vision. Listen, I go to a job right now that I'm not going to say I love. I also don't hate it. I can't hate it. And the reason why I can't hate it is because it fuels my passion. Without this job, I wouldn't have an opportunity to fuel the things that I care about the most. Without that job, I wouldn't have an opportunity to fuel the things that I care about the most, which is motivational speaking, which is inspiring people, which is doing these podcasts. If I didn't have these jobs, I wouldn't have been able to invest $2,000 into my podcast. I wouldn't have been able to buy cameras and buy lighting and buy tripods and buy my MacBook and invest $2,000 in shirts and hoodies and journals. Without my job, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So you got to lose your pride when it comes to gaining money. Okay. One way that you can do it, lose your pride. Go out there and get that second job. It's okay. But know what it's for. Know the purpose of it, right? Don't get stuck in mud. Don't get stuck at that job. Remind yourself every single day of what the mission is, what the purpose was of getting this job. Now, I'm at a position where I said, you know what, let me go out and drive Uber and Lyft. This will be nice to make. But I said to myself, you know what, the time that I'm going to spend out driving Uber and Lyft, making $25 an hour, I guarantee I can put that same energy into creating more content. I can put that same energy into selling more shirts, finding more ways to be unique and sell the products that I have, and I can make that same amount of money. But I'm at that point in my life. Where are you at this stage in your entrepreneurial journey? Do you need to go out and get a second job or a third job? I was there. I worked 3 jobs and put myself through school. I was there. Full-time student, 2-sport athlete, worked 3 jobs at the same time. I was there. Before I started doing this, I was there. I'm still here doing it right now, working 2 jobs full time right now, working 2 jobs, 40 hours a week, still doing podcasts, still doing content, still doing pop-up shops, still doing poetry events, going out to schools and speaking. I'm doing it all right now. Why? Because my passion isn't making the type of money that I need it to fuel my life yet. It's getting there though. But I can't lose the money right now. I can't lose the money right now. And I'm not afraid to put in countless hours of work so that I can have the opportunity to be happy. Man, when we used to go in the office, I see a lot of sad faces. I see a lot of people hate their job. We do the same job. They hate it way more than I do. Why do they hate it way more than I do? It's because they don't have anything else that's fueling them after they get home. After they get home, that's it. It's just it's that job, and then it's the kids, and then it's sleep, and then it's that job, and then it's the kids, and then it's sleep. It's that job, and it's the kids, and then it's sleep. That's what David Shands calls falling asleep. That's why he says sleep is for suckers. He ain't talking about actual sleep, man. He's talking about sleeping on your life. He said he met a guy, he worked at a place for 40 years, and he said, man, 40 years flew by. Whew, how did 40 years fly by? 40 years shouldn't fly by. You mean to tell me over the past 40 years you don't remember nothing about what you did at your job? Ain't no way 40 years fly by. Man, I'm taking in every single year that comes into my life. And how do I do that? Well, I write down my wins every single week. I remind myself of who I am. I remind myself of why I'm doing it. I'm telling y'all, I see a lot of faces every single week. Oh, I hate this job. I can't stand this job. I hate this job. I can't stand this job. Well, that's because your job is only helping you pay bills. And we were put here from a bigger purpose than to just pay bills and raise kids. We were put here for so much more than just paying bills and raising kids, man. We have a gift. We have something significant in us. And the only way we can accomplish that is with some money, is with some capital. You got to start, you can't be afraid of it. But the only way to not be afraid of it is you got to lose your pride. We are too proud. We are too proud to say that, hey, look, I picked up a second job. And then, right, once you get the money, know what you're doing with the money. Get yourself somebody who can help you invest the money. Get yourself somebody that can help you save the money. What's the best method that you have to save money? Start putting some principles into practice. One of the things that I do, I use numbers. Every month I use a thing called numbers. If you have an Apple device, it comes with the device. It comes with your iPad, your MacBook, your iPhone. It's called numbers. Put your monthly bills in there. Do a numbers check every Sunday. Stop waiting. Do a numbers check every Sunday. You need to check in with yourself financially every Sunday, just like you need to check in with your mental health at least once a week. You need to check in with your financial health once a week. You need to check in with your spiritual health, your physical health, your emotional health, your mental health. 6 areas of life: spiritual, physical, emotional, relational. Spiritual, physical, emotional, relational, mental, and financial. There it is. Sperm F. Spiritual, physical, emotional, relational, mental, financial. Spiritual, physical, emotional, relational, mental, financial. There we go. Sperm F. All right. You need to check in with yourself financially. Find out where your money is going. Find out how you can save. Start reading some books. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But first and foremost, you got to be willing to go out and make that money. Lose your pride and go out and make money. Okay? Along this journey, we want to be successful, but we forget about the things. We forget about our responsibilities. I know some people, man, they spending hours on the things that they want to accomplish, but they forgetting about their responsibilities as a person, as a human, as a man, as a woman, as an adult. You have responsibilities as an adult that you have to take care of first and foremost before you even think about your goals and your dreams. You can do them both at the same time. Work an 8-hour job on doing what it is that you're supposed to do. Work the 8-hour job on doing what it is that you have to do. That's 16 hours in a day. That's still leaving you 16 hours. That's still leaving you 8 hours of sleep. But again, like I said, most people don't want success as much as they want to sleep, as much as they want to drink, as much as they want to party. Most people don't want that. They want to do all of those things before they, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Listen, man, I traded my social life. I traded away everything to finish my college degree because I needed the money. I traded away my social life. I traded away my relational life. I had no relationships in college. I couldn't. I was too busy. I couldn't afford to have no relationships. That cost me the most. Having a relationship, no, I couldn't afford to have that. I didn't have no relationship when I was in college until my senior year. Along your journey of accomplishing your dream and your goal, do not forget your responsibilities. You have responsibilities as an adult. You have responsibilities as a person. Do not forget your responsibilities. Pick up 2-3 jobs. I don't know why people not working 2 or 3 jobs. If you ain't doing nothing, you need to be doing something. If that thing that you working on ain't paying you, you need to be working 2 or 3 jobs. So I believe it was Oprah that said the best way to find out what it is that you want to do is to quickly find out what it is that you don't want to do. And I tell you, when I was working at Bob Evans for 3 years, I quickly found out that I didn't want to do this for the rest of my life. Oh, I didn't want to do this, but I had to do it. I was in school. I knew I didn't want to do that. I knew I wasn't going to go back to working behind anybody's grill anymore. I'm at the position in my life where I don't need to do that no more. Along your journey, you are going to need money to do it. And it doesn't take a lot. We think that it takes a lot of money. It doesn't take a lot. It's really easy to save $2,000. Start a t-shirt business. It's really easy. You don't even have to do $2,000. You can just do $500. You can just do one shirt. I went and bought 2 shirts and a hoodie and a journal. You don't got to do it the same way I did. Save $500. How quickly can you save $500? Should take you about a month and a half. 2 months tops. Flip that money. Okay? Flip that money and then save that money and then let that money compound itself. That's what I do. I got a business account now. I don't even touch that money. That money flips itself. I did my initial investment of $2,000. I'm never going to have to put another dime in it. Never. Why? Because it's the profit that I'm going to make off of the journals, off the shirts, off the hoodies. I should be able to put that back in and still have some extra. And still have some so that I'm done with it. I invested the initial $2,000. I don't have to ever touch it again. Even with this podcast, I bought all of this material, right? I told you I spent $2,000 on cameras and lighting and microphones. Spent a lot of money on it. I didn't go super expensive. I also didn't go cheap. But now I have an opportunity to work with someone who wants to use my equipment to record their podcast. And they're going to pay me to do it. I was only able to do that because I had the money. I had the initial investment to be able to do it. Don't be upset with your job. It's not your job's fault. We live in a capitalist world. It's not your job's fault. It sucks. It does. Absolutely. But remember, your job can fuel your passion. Your job can fuel your purpose. If you keep that in mind every single day when you walk into work, that it's bigger than this. It's more than me coming to this job. You will be extremely successful. So recapping, time. How much time are you spending on whatever it is that you want to accomplish? How much time are you sleeping? Experience. Got to give it away for free, guys. Resources, things and people. What resources are you going to need to make it successful? What resources are you going to use? Who are going to be your resources to help you make it successful? What and who are going to be your resources? Money. How hard are you working to get the financial backing that you need in order to make that thing successful? Because you're going to need money to make it successful. And finally, knowledge. Where do you get the information from? I said earlier, Google University and YouTube University is an actual thing. Where do you get your knowledge from? You see these books back here, right? All of this knowledge. It didn't cost me much, but I was willing to invest the money in myself, right? Oh, you see all of these things, they work. This is a perfect circle. Knowledge. I was able to gain knowledge from reading books. I was able to gain knowledge from going back to school. I was able to gain knowledge from listening to podcasts, listening to other people who had done the things that I want to do. Listen, the blueprint is out there. Whatever it is that you want to do, the blueprint is out there. Somebody has already done it, or someone is doing it, or someone has something that is similar to what it is that you want to accomplish. All you got to do is go out there and find the knowledge. It is out there. I promise you. It is out there. The knowledge is out there. Look, when I started reading, the very first book that I picked up was the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. And in that book, he said the most successful people in this world read about 30 to 40 books every single year. I said, man, yo, that's crazy. I know I'm on the right path. I need to start reading a lot more. How do you read 30 to 40 books every single year? It sounds like something that will never be accomplished. Well, you think about this. The average self-help book has about 300 pages in it. You read 15 pages in the morning, 15 pages at night. That's 30 pages a day. To read those 15 pages, it'll probably take you about 25 minutes. 25 minutes in the morning, 25 minutes at night. It's 50 minutes a day. Right? We talked about time earlier. Okay. 50 minutes a day. You got to break. See, when you first hear the idea of reading 30 to 40 books every single year, it sounds astronomical. But how do you eat an elephant? You got to chop it up. You can break it down. Okay? You can break it down. So, read 15 pages in the morning, read 15 pages at night. You'll be done that book in 10 days. If it's 300 pages, you'll be done that book in 10 days. How many 10 days are there in a year? There's 36 and a half 10 days in a year. So that means if you read 15 pages in the morning, 15 pages at night, that means you can read 36 and a half books every single year. What did I do? I started reading 15 pages in the morning, 15 pages at night. I started investing in myself. I said, you know what? I'm going to allocate this time the way that I know that it needs to be allocated. A successful person told me this. I'm going to read 30 to 40 books every single year. What else? How else did I go back and get the knowledge? I went back to school. I decided to go back to school and get my master's degree at 25 years old, 26 years old. I had no idea how important school was when I was going to school. I didn't think about that kind of stuff. I was an athlete. I'm going to be an athlete. I was a 2-sport athlete. I was working. I had a lot of stuff on my mind. The schoolwork wasn't one of them. How was I going to eat? How was I going to pay for my apartment, pay for my lights? It's reality. I don't got time for that stuff. But at 26 years old, I went back to school. I said, I need more knowledge. I need more information. I'm hungry. Now I became an information whore. I became an information whore, y'all. I did. I started to go and find information anywhere that I can, anywhere that people was giving it out. I started to just find information. I was like, yo, I gotta get it. I gotta have it. Where's this information at? Oh, there it is. Let me grab that information. And I started to seek it anywhere I could off of YouTube, man. I started to listen to motivational speakers religiously. They're doing the things that I want to do. How did they do it? I started to read their stories, right? There are people out there, like I said, who are doing the things that you want to do. You need to pick up their book, pick up their biography, pick up their autobiography, listen to their interviews. I listen to everybody back here whose book I have. I've also listened to countless hours of their interviews. I've gotten the knowledge. And the thing that I realized is that all of their stories sound the same in the sense of the things that they had to go, the types of things they had to go through, the types of things they had to endure in order to make whatever it is that they were doing successful. And then I started to realize that their life isn't much different than mine's is. Their life isn't much more different. Their life isn't any more glamorous than what mine is. In the beginning, it wasn't. Majority of them, they started exactly where I started from. Single mom, broken homes, in the gutters. I didn't start down there. It was a single mom, broken home. Where did the knowledge come from? Sometimes you got to pay for the knowledge. Sometimes you got to pay for the knowledge. But when I went back to school, that was me paying for the knowledge. But when I went back to school, what did I do? I swallowed my pride. I was making $70,000 a year selling insurance. I quit that job, making $70,000 a year, went to work at a call center for $10.50 an hour. Why? Because I knew I needed more knowledge. Because I knew, Eric Thomas said, sometimes you got to pass up on good to get to great. And I passed up on good. If I was in the insurance business right now, I'd be way further ahead. But I realized that I was selling my soul to the highest bidder. This didn't fuel me. When I first got into the insurance business, I told them what they asked me. Why did you want to get into this? Well, because I want to open up 3 facilities in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. One in DC, one in Maryland, one in Virginia. Working with at-risk youth. It's my passion. It's what I want to do. I fell so deeply in love with the money that I forgot all about that. And I said, you know what? I got to get out of this. The best thing you can do when you find yourself in the hole is to put down the shovel and stop digging. So that's what I did. I put down the shovel and I stopped digging. And I found myself headed to the thing that was going to make me happy, which was working with at-risk youth. And then, only then, was I able to get $500 for an hour, because now I'm a motivational speaker. And now I'm able to get $1,000 an hour and $2,000 an hour. And I'm working on a thing that I want. And the only way I was able to do that was because I went back to school to get the knowledge. I put away $70,000 a year. And if you know anything about the insurance business, you know every year you always do better. So if I would have stayed in the insurance business, I'd be, making $200,000 a year right now. But I'm not from the insurance business anyway. I'm over six figures from the business that I'm in right now. Multiple businesses, multiple streams of income. But only because I went back and I got the knowledge. I said to myself, I need more information. It's the only reason I was able to do it. Other ways you can get knowledge. Like I said, Google University, YouTube University is a thing. You can find anything on the internet. You can find out how to do anything on the internet. If you are willing to open your mind to it, to receiving it, it is out there. Anything that you want to accomplish, these successful people are giving you the blueprint, man. There are people that are doing exactly what it is that I want to do. And all I do is follow them. All I do is listen to them. That's all I do. All I do is listen to them every single day. And now I'm doing pop-up shops. Now I'm doing podcasts. Now I'm creating content. Now I'm helping other people create content. And I'm getting paid for it. We've got to get to a point. We've got to get out of this mindset of the only way we can get paid for what we want to do is we have to be great at it. Now, you can be good and teach someone that's okay. If great is up here, good is here, and okay is down here, you can be good and teach the people who are okay how to get to good. But if we're not great, we feel like, I shouldn't be charging for it, or I shouldn't be, I can't make money off of this. No, you can be good and you can make money off of it by teaching the people who are okay exactly how to get to good. Stop discounting yourself. But the only way you get to a point where you can make money off of it is if you have to have the knowledge of how to make money off of it, what to charge, who to talk to, where do you go? When I was in Pennsylvania, I had done everything that I needed to do in Pennsylvania. Everything that I felt like I needed to accomplish, I had done it. I was a big fish in a small pond. I became a big fish in a small pond. 10,000 people in this little city. If you throw a rock up in the middle of the city, everyone in the city will be able to see it. I was a big fish in a small pond. I said, okay, I'm going to take the information that I have now. I'm going to go back home to DC, to the DMV area, and I'm going to become extremely successful because of the information that I have now. I know where to go. I know who to talk to. I've spent 3 years building it here in Pennsylvania. Watch me go back home and build that same thing in 1 year and then build it even more. And guess what I did, guys? I came back home. I did it in a year. I became just as successful as I did in a year. I built a bigger following here in the DC area. And now, guess what? Everybody in Pennsylvania wants me to come back and say, hey, listen, we see the work that you're doing, man. We believe it's phenomenal. It's amazing. Look, we want you to come back to Pennsylvania. We want you to do some stuff here. And the only reason I was able to do it is because of the knowledge that I gained when I was in the small city and then moved to the big city. Now I'm a little fish in a big pond. But if you know anything about fish, they grow based on the size of their environment. So what did I do? I grew based on the size of my environment. Now my environment is bigger. Now there's more opportunities here. There's more resources here. There's more ways to allocate my time. There's more experience that I can gain here. There's more money to be made here. There's more resources in terms of things and people here. Again, y'all see how all of this is making sense? Y'all see how all of this relates to each other? It's one big circle, y'all. Time, experience, resource, money, knowledge. T.E.R.M.K. Right now, you want to be successful. Ask yourself, are you spending enough time doing it? Ask yourself, do you have enough experience in it? They say you got to have 10,000 hours in order to be a professional at it. I told y'all earlier how to get 1,200 hours a year. Resources. Ask yourself, do you have the resources to be successful? Do you have the things and the people around you in order to be successful? Do you have the money in order to be successful? I told you how to get the money. I told you how to get the money already. Do you have the knowledge on how to be successful? I told you how to get the knowledge. YouTube University, Google University, these books, Podcast University, in my bag with Backpack Jeff. I'm giving you game. I was talking to one of my boys the other day. I was mad at him. I'm like, bro, if you would have listened to the podcast, man, you'd have had all this information already. Go listen to the podcast. I'm giving you free game. I got people that's coming on the podcast that's giving free game. The questions that you asking have already been answered. I had one guy reach out to me already. He said, man, I listened to that podcast with you and Sir Alex, and I took what he's doing, man, and I'm doing it right. And I did it. I went out and I invested in myself. He found the resource. He got the knowledge. He found the resource, which was the podcast. He got the knowledge, which was the information that Alex gave. He had the money because of his job. He spent the time to actually do it, to actually go out and do the thing that Alex told him to do. And now he's achieving success because of it. Easy, y'all. Super easy. That's all I got for y'all, man. It's been another episode of In My Bag with Backpack Jeff. You know I'm always in my bag.